In 1987, a leader emerged in West Africa who the world simply didn't know how to handle. His name was Thomas Sankara, and his story is one of radical vision, unwavering conviction, and ultimately, a tragic end that still reverberates across the continent today. This isn't just a history lesson, it's the story of a dream for Africa and the forces that sought to extinguish it. Imagine a country, one of the poorest in the world, suddenly declaring its independence not just politically, but economically and mentally. That was Burkina Faso under Sankara. He renamed his country from the colonial Upper Volta to Burkina Faso, which means land of the upright people. This wasn't just a name change, it was a declaration of a new identity. Sankara's vision was breathtaking in its audacity. He looked at the system of foreign aid and saw a trap, a new form of colonialism that kept his country dependent. So, he rejected it. He famously said, "He who feeds you, controls you." Instead of accepting handouts, he rallied his people to rely on themselves. He launched programs to plant millions of trees to fight desertification, built railways with local labor, and promoted the use of locally grown cotton and traditional clothing. It was a revolution of self-sufficiency. He was a different kind of leader. He sold off the government's fleet of luxury Mercedes cars and made the Renault 5, the cheapest car in Burkina Faso at the time, the official service car for his ministers. He lowered his own salary and forbade his portrait from being hung in public places, saying, "There are 7 million Thomas Sankaras." But his revolution went deeper than economics. He was a fierce advocate for women's rights in a time and place where that was almost unheard of. He outlawed forced marriages and female genital mutilation, and appointed women to high government positions. He encouraged men to go to the market and cook to experience for themselves the conditions faced by women. He was decades ahead of his time. Sankara wasn't just a leader for Burkina Faso, he was a voice for the entire continent. He spoke with fiery passion at the United Nations and other international forums, denouncing debt as a tool of control and calling for a united African front against neocolonialism. He challenged the established order, a system that benefited from a dependent and fragmented Africa. He was charismatic, articulate, and unapologetic. He was a symbol of hope for millions. But proving that Africa could stand on its own was a dangerous idea. It threatened powerful interests both abroad and at home. His anti-corruption drives made enemies. His rejection of the old ways of doing things unsettled the powerful elite. His radical self-reliance challenged the very foundation of global power dynamics. Then came October 15, 1987. On that day, Thomas Sankara was assassinated in a coup d'état. He was just 37 years old. The man who led the coup was his close friend and second-in-command, Blaise Compaoré. The aftermath was swift and brutal. Within hours of his death, Sankara's revolutionary policies were reversed. The relationships with international financial institutions that he had rejected were quickly re-established. The dream of self-reliance was dismantled. A heavy silence fell over the nation and the continent. His death wasn't just the removal of a president. It was the assassination of an idea. It was a message sent to any other African leader who might dare to dream of true independence. Pan-Africanism, the dream of a united and self-sufficient continent, didn't die that day, but it was deeply, deeply wounded. So why does Sankara's story still matter so much? Because the issues he fought against, debt, foreign interference, corruption, and the need for African unity, are more relevant than ever. He showed, even for a brief, shining moment, that another way was possible. He proved that an African nation could chart its own course, relying on its own people and its own resources. His assassination left a void, a question of what if. What if he had lived? What would Burkina Faso look like today? What would Africa look like? We'll never know. But his legacy lives on in the hearts of young Africans across the continent who see in him a symbol of integrity, courage, and an undying belief in Africa's potential. Thomas Sankara's story is a stark reminder that revolutionary ideas are often met with violent opposition. But it's also a testament to the enduring power of a vision. He is often called Africa's Che Guevara, but he was uniquely African, a leader whose ideas were born from the soil of his continent. His 4 short years in power were a flash of lightning that illuminated a path that many are still trying to find today. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that explores the histories that have shaped our world. We'll see you in the next one.